I love it. One sec. I'm just sending out a contract. Sorry. I'm
Go
just
ahead,
getting
bro.
this. I'm just getting this. Sending another reminder out to these guys. The thing with sales, right? You gotta basically you get everything agreed to in terms, and then people you gotta like chase them for contracts. It's like one of my big things that my pet peeves is sales, but it's part of the thing.
But I thought you were a sales guy.
I am a sales guy. I wasn't a sales guy. What'd you say?
You are, yeah. So you hate sales, or it's your least favorite part of the job?
No, at least I mean I think it's not. Listen, it's all part of the sales process. I love sales, man. I love this stuff.
Hmm.
It's like I'll kind of explain to it. I'm on like a personal challenge right now, which I get into. I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about
Fuck
this.
yeah, let's go.
I think you're gonna like this a lot. Actually, it's gonna
Okay.
get you fired up. One second, I'm just sending this out to him, and then I'm all yours. That's drafts. Michael, reattached the agreement here. Okay, gonna highlight this, bold it.
Take your time, brother.
All right, one sec, bang. And
Let me see if I can track down a pen.
yeah, you better.
I'm out here taking notes.
You're taking notes. So
Yo, have you been watching any TV lately?
have I been watching TV?
Are you a Netflix guy?
Man, I am. I just started rewatching The Office yesterday.
Oh, class.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, class. I've seen it. I think I've seen it twice through.
Yeah, I've seen it. This is my third time. I love it. It's so funny. You can relate to a lot of stuff. It's hilarious.
Who? Oh, fuck. I was
Okay,
gonna
I'm
say,
all here. I'm ready.
who in the office are you most like, or do you relate to the most?
Oh man, I don't think you want to be anyone in the office. Like I don't think you want to be. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think everyone wants to be Jim. I think that's like the most
Yeah, the
like
most
normal
sane.
one. He gets like the girl at the end. Gets the girl at the end. I think like that's the one. My favorite character is Michael. I love that guy. I think
Yeah,
he's so
you
funny,
have to like
man.
Michael.
Oh no, Creed. Creed is a legend. I love Creed. He's the old guy, the bald guy.
Yeah, I feel like if Creed wasn't on the show wouldn't be that much different because he has like one line every two episodes.
Well, the funny thing is, like, he's non-existent for the first like two seasons. I'm just like this first
True.
season's only like 6 episodes, and the second season I just started it like that, and he hasn't really come in. So I'm trying to, but you see him in the background. It's like almost
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
In the second season, maybe they're like that old guy could be funny. We're gonna create a
Yeah,
character
yeah,
around
we're
him.
gonna
Like
find
it's
out.
funny. Yeah, it's funny. Well, actually, Minda Kaling, who's on the show, she was a former Dartmouth grad, so she actually came. I got to meet her. She spoke she's a theater grad, and I was a theater minor. So
Which
she
one
actually,
was it?
Minda Kaling. She's I
Angela?
mean, no, Mindy Kaling. She's like she's the she's dating the like the Indian girl in it. Um,
She's yeah, I fucking hate her on the episode. I hate her on the episode.
well, she's annoying, but like that's her
So
character.
annoying. Oh my god.
She's so successful though. Like she's done so much cool stuff. Like the Mindy Kaling project. She's great.
Yeah,
Got some
yeah, she's
really good
on.
right. She wrote the whole show at like 25 or 26 with Steve Carell and everybody. Like she was actually hired as a writer, and they're
Oh,
like, yeah, you should totally come in and
what's her
be on
name?
the show.
What's her
Mindy
name?
Kaling.
No,
Mindy Kaling.
on the show.
Oh shoot. I don't think I've gotten her name yet. I just got the diversity episode. They pulled everything up. I was like,
What's
oh
her
man.
name?
And then I just saw like the next day
Oh,
that like Comedy Central canceled that episode. And they're not airing it anymore because they got a ton of backlash. Like they could have not have done that show like 15 like today. I don't
oh,
think
there's
they
no
could have done
chance.
it.
There's no chance. There's like
So much bad stuff.
Players.
Gender. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Gay. Her name's Kelly Kapoor. Hate Kelly.
Kelly Kapoor.
I was gonna say that makes like talking about The Office makes me think of I don't know how involved in the Barstool ecosystem you are, but
not really. It's not. I'm not really into it. I think they post some funny stuff every once in a while, but
yeah, and they're like they're a media conglomerate, whatever. Now they're getting sports betting, but they run their own version of like they have like on the content side. They have their own YouTube show which mimics The Office. But it's like real life. They just document everything.
Yeah, I mean that place is a fucking shit show.
But it's like it sounds cool. Like what if Greencube hired a full-time videographer and not even like didn't write anything, no screenplay, nothing, but just documented like the interactions and then pieced it together. Like that's what Barstool does.
I think we'd have no candidates that want to work here. They'd be like online. They'd be like that guy. They'd be like that guy's crazy, and everyone else is the biggest. Is like this is a high stress intense environment. So I don't know.
What would it be? Would it be like? Is it quiet in your office? I know you try to like you've explained this before. It's like you want.
It's not quiet in here. Like in this room, like I sit with like here's Tim. There's Tim. Like, so Tim's one of our client success people manages a lot of the client accounts, and it's not loud in here. Like we're blasting music. Like me personally, I'm just a very like weird guy. So what I do, I like I'll just like be boisterous. I'll scream sometimes. Like get off a call, be like fuck yeah, like fucking go, that. Like I'm not like definitely not I feel sorry for Tim half the time because he's got to listen to all this shit. Like he probably goes, "What the fuck did I sign up for, man?"
100%.
Yeah.
You and you got to the office pretty damn early today.
Always. I think so. I'm doing like this 50-day challenge thing right now, and it's like reasoning behind it is just because basically we're at like such a pivotal point in our business where like. We got it because we're about to go and do the Series A in a couple months. We got to grow the rev. We got to grow the book. And so like right now I'm just like, I don't know, I made like kind of an oath to myself. And then now like, well, it's kind of cool. Most of the teams actually jumping in on it, which is kind of interesting. So just started like a me project. I wrote up on, I booked like some time. We'll invite you as well. Friday, October 1st, maybe. We're going out, Love Child, Greencube,
really?
Hackathon 3.0. You'll be on the invite. We'll get you out there with us. We'll do like a whole big thing. We're gonna go out, have a great time, bottles, boost, everything like that. We're gonna blow it up. It's gonna be awesome. I'm going fully dry for 50 days right now. Dialed in. I'm in the 50-day challenge, fully dry. I come to the office every single day for 50 days. So like on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, like I'm here. Like no, like 50 days, not work days, 50 days straight. I'm going on a 5K run for 50 days straight every single day. So 250K running over the next 50 days. And I'm just I'm like about 12 days in. I want to like collapse, but ultimately, I don't know. It's not like something that like I'm forcing myself to do. I just like want to do this for me, which is kind of cool. And then now we got people like coming back and like I had like an intern here come in on the weekends now because he's just like, I just want to work. I'll be here. I'll be on the weekends. Like I want to come. Yeah. And then like now it was funny. Like one of our like marketing people here showed up at like 6:00 this morning or 6:30. And like she posted in the office, did like a big thing on Slack. She did like a post of like the sunrise coming up. Yeah. She's like, Troy, I know like your team weekend, but like I'm team sunrise. And then I took a picture saying, well, I'm in the other room type of thing.
Don't kill me.
No. She didn't even know. So, but it's great, man. It's like you got to set the tone in your business, and ultimately, you got to set the. It's not about setting the tone. It's like you got to want to work for you, and that's what I tell everyone that I work with is like you don't want to like don't work for me, don't work for your supervisor, don't work for the company. You got to work for you first, and ultimately, when you work for you and you leave. You'll feel so good leaving after the workday when you're like, even if you're doing the most grindy type of job, if you perform and when you leave the office, not like at 5 o'clock, but you just leave when you know it's time to leave.
Right.
You'll feel so good. You'll go home, you'll be skipping down the road, you'll jump on the subway, have the biggest smile on your face, you'll be energized. It's such a gratifying experience. And I think that's something that, hey, listen, I'm piling through here. I have a goal in my head of X amount of clients I want to close and bring in for the next like 50 days.
Yep.
Where it looks like we're above pace on that. Like, and I'm just gonna keep absolutely killing it. And ultimately October 1st, going to be an absolute rager of a day. We're going to the new offices October 1st. Big party, big splash. It's going to be a big thing. So next 39 days left, or 38 days. I'm head down, and like I said, we're head down, and we're going to absolutely demolish this thing.
And you're going to feel like you earned it. Like you're going to feel like, damn, I just sacrificed. I was so disciplined for 50 days. And 50 days isn't, you would think like, oh, some people would do like a dry month with 30 days, but like, why did you choose 50?
It actually wasn't like, oh, okay, we're 50 days out and I'm going to then we're going to party. It was like, actually, it was just I just felt like it needs to be done. Like, it just needs to be done. Like, our business is in such a stage right now where I need to invest that time.
Distraction. Eliminate
distraction. Yeah, it's not even like eliminating distractions or anything like that. Like, I want to do this for 50 days. Like, this just needs to happen. Like, it just needs to be done. And it's not like I'm not forcing myself to like come to the office every day. I'm just like, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And ultimately in 50 days time, I know for a fact that we're gonna look back at this body of work and be absolutely ecstatic. Bro. And they'll probably the best night of our lives. I mean, who knows? Maybe I meet my future wife or something.
Have you seen? She's out there somewhere, Troy. She's out there somewhere.
She is. I don't know. Haven't found her yet.
Have you seen the 75 hard challenge?
No. What's that?
So it's a fitness challenge. It's basically a fitness challenge, but again, it's for 75 days.
Cool.
And there's certain criteria that you have to hit. So just off the top of my head, it's
right.
No alcohol or drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
It's follow a diet, so clean food, right?
Right.
But then you have to do 2 separate 45-minute workouts.
Wow.
Okay. One of those workouts has to be outside. Okay. Cool. You have to hit a certain amount of pages in a book. You have to read every day. Okay. And then you have to drink 4 liters of water. And so that's for 75 days. And so, yep, you're on it. So it's called the 75 hard challenge. Some guy brought it up, but it's all over TikTok. And I know 2 of my friends who are currently doing it.
Nice.
But it's kind of the same thing. And especially after, I had my week in Vegas, and then, last weekend I had buddies coming up, and then this weekend I have more buddies coming up. So it's like, this is my last weekend where I'm whatever. And I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I feel like doing a sort of challenge like this where I'm going dry or I'm locking in, or I journal every day for a certain amount of time, or I do I think there comes a point where you're just like, man, I need a reset or something. Like, did you have a moment like that, or you're just like, okay, things are getting real hectic, so we need to lock in, and that's why you wanted to do it? Or did you have you got sick and you were treating your body poorly, or you were having too many binges and you're like, I gotta reset my system?
I think
I'm trying, because it's not common that people are just like, yo, I'm going on this challenge, unless
I don't
I'm trying to pull that out. There's got to be more to this.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mixture of both. I think to be honest, I think I maybe was getting a little when I started, right? COVID. Okay, perfect. COVID, you're alone. You're like, I was just so invested in me and so invested in everything. And all of a sudden we started opening up in May and June. I hadn't seen people for a while, right? So it was good to kind of get together with people, do that whole thing. See my friends I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah. And then I think what happened was I started I wouldn't say I never lost what my priorities were. I would say we're always trending up. But maybe at the pay, maybe my expectation level in myself. In the past, like when I was starting, if I was doing what I was doing now, I'd be like, wow, fucking killing it. But my expectation level of myself grew to another level. And I think that's just part of personal and self growth and professional growth. And so what I found was I'm not actually getting based on the hockey stick growth, as everyone likes to say, I'm actually not getting improving as much as I would like.
Right.
And it was something that, I guess it was something internally that I was just going in my head. And I said, you know what? Like, it kind of clicked. I said, I got to get back to like my ground zero. And my ground zero was, it wasn't even, I didn't even start with a 50-day challenge. Like the first 10 days, I ultimately just looked at it and I kept coming to the office every day, run, go to the office, work out, run, be in the office, get up. And now like, then on last week, I was like, wow, I'm like 10 days into this thing, 40 days from now. What is that? Okay, that's October 1st. Okay. You know what? I contacted a couple of my like nightlife buddies and I said, okay, I want to book a party for October 1st. I want to do this. I want to do a big thing, Love Child. It's like a place that me and my old buddies used to go. I want to bring the company. I want to bring my friends. I want to go October 1st. But for the next, at that point, I was 10 days in, but for the next 40 days, we're like day 12 right now. So it's only 2 days ago. I want to invest that time in myself first, invest that time in from a professional growth perspective, invest that time in Greencube, in my colleagues here, and ultimately grow this thing to a point where we can look back at that 38 to 37 day like sprint almost, or sprints into tech development, that we then look back and go, wow, that's a body of work. And we took ourselves to another level. And then it's so funny, man. I had the intern came on the weekend. He goes, Troy, I really love this challenge, but like, I don't know if I agree with it. He's like 18 years old. And he says this to me and I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you can't stop after the 50 days.
Right.
And then I looked at him and I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's right. But I said, Alex, at the 50-day mark, I'm gonna look back at myself and go, I just took myself to another level. And guess what? I'll do something else. And I'll keep motivating, I'll keep making these different goals. I think you got to set those kind of timeline, interesting goals for yourself, and it keeps it interesting. And listen, my friends right now are like, you're the biggest weirdo in the world and all this front, but we get it. You're just you. But like, listen, I think everyone collectively as a group, now the whole company is bought in to this October 1st date. And it's like, it's not like there's something big that happens for our company on October 1st. I mean, we are moving to new offices, but it's just like, everyone's so bought into like this date and this goal. And we're so excited to see, like, we don't even have like a tangible goal of like X, but it's like, we're gonna work and just, we're gonna look back in the next like 38 days and just look at it and go, we did that.
Yeah.
We did that.
It's like, it's a sprint of absolute discipline.
Right.
And I think the fun part is you're going to see like the amount of growth that you achieve in that sprint. And you're like, okay, well, let's build on this. It makes me think of the analogy of like, if you have a large goal, the best way to achieve the large goal is to set small goals.
Sure.
Right? And so you start chipping away at it, and you're not going to achieve the large goal in all at once. But if you can set small incremental goals, that can help you get there. I relate to the lockdowns when, I felt, I was talking to my friend, and this was right when I graduated. I was about 6 months out of university. And that's when the pandemic hit. And I was getting real active on my undressed jersey. I just had all this time. We've spoke about this before, but I just felt like I had all this time and I had no distractions because the world was literally shut down. So I got to dictate what I did with 100% of my time. And I felt like that was beneficial to me. And my friend was like, he was saying, man, like, you're just happy that everything's locked down because you don't really have to figure things out. Like,
oh, interesting.
It's not like you have to worry about getting a job or finding your career while other people are, because everyone's on the same level. And I said, yeah, but that's not really why I'm enjoying this time. Like, in my mind, I didn't want the lockdown to end because I loved the freedom to schedule the time and allocate the time where I wanted. Yeah. And I found now that things are open and there are more distractions and there are more friends, and you've deprived yourself of social life, and now you feel like you have the excuse to go to places like Vegas and spend this money that you don't have, and like you kind of have that excuse of like being locked up for the whole year. But like I think like the amount of growth that I experienced during that time was like insurmountable. So I think it's now like up to yourself. Like,
that's a good point.
But it's like it's your responsibility to stay disciplined. Where the pandemic.
So that's funny. You were almost forced to stay disciplined during COVID. Now you got all the distractions in the world, and it's whether you're. And I think, listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm always be transparent. I think I got a little distracted. Who wouldn't? Yep. We're in lockdown for 18, 19 months. You come out of it, you're like, whoa, a patio, a drink, friends, people, conversations. I can actually hug you. Like, it's like literally like stuff like that. And you get a little distracted. I think everyone took like a little like step back and went, wow, this is what life feels like again. And then it's a matter of, I don't know, maybe this is just what I did. I came back and said, you know what? Love life. I'm gonna eventually figure out how to have a balanced life. I will eventually figure that out. Mm-hmm. But I know that when I am in this type of mindset, which is like me and my buddy Tim and I joke around, it's called a nail gun mindset, an absolute like savage mindset for you professionally. I know like when I'm in this mindset that I'm just going to make it happen. Like it's just going to happen and it's just going to work. But I think that comes with maturity and growth. And I think I'm still trying to get there, and how to incorporate some sort of social angle to this and personal life and all the kind of mumbo jumbo that goes along with a balanced lifestyle. But ultimately, I need to have an imbalanced lifestyle to then ultimately learn how to have a balanced lifestyle.
Yeah, it's weird. You almost need to like deprive yourself to recognize. It's like taking things for granted, and like if you have a loved one pass away, you're just like, damn, I didn't realize what I had until it's gone. Right? You don't. But I think that takes a little bit of humility for you to be able to like stand, because you've seen.
I'm happy. Like that's the thing, right? It's like people might go, wow, like listen to this, they go, wow, like you're like depriving, right? Like, oh wow, like that's not healthy and stuff like that. But like it's healthy to me. Like I'm happy. Like and that's interesting. I mean, that's all that matters, right? Is like I'm like in such a good space right now, mentally and physically and everything. And I'm really proud of myself. And listen, like everyone's idea of a healthy lifestyle is different. Yep. And that's what we've always talked about in this, right? Like my way, your way is not the highway for every single person. It's like everyone pulls what their passions are and their stories are out of everything and create their own lifestyle and their own balanced lifestyle. In the public scheme of things, in the public section, my lifestyle is probably the most imbalanced lifestyle from the perspective. But to me, it's balanced because I feel great, and I know I'm moving forward, and I know I'm growing.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see your mindset after these 50 days, because I think Jack Harlow recently came out.
Love that guy. It's great.
He's hilarious. He's awesome. Confident. He doesn't, he's not afraid to make the gay jokes. Like he's himself or whatever.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy, because some people are afraid to make those jokes. They don't want to be seen as
right.
It's crazy. Anyway,
he's just himself.
And what he said, he hadn't had a sip of alcohol a year, and
right. I read that too.
Yeah, basically him saying it's like, I don't know if I will ever again. I may allow it's not like I'm not allowing myself to, it's just I don't see the need. So I'm interested to see how your 50 days goes of being sober, and whether or not at the end you're like, God damn, someone give me a drink, or if you're like, man, I'm loving the consistency, the clarity, the discipline, all of it. I'm curious to know.
I mean, I'll let you know. You'll see it. You'll see it on October 1st, man. I'll let you know. You'll see it.
Keep your clothes on, Troy. Keep the clothes on.
Nah, shirt's always off, man, when you have a couple of tequila bombs or whatever. I think, listen, I'm gonna enjoy that day. I'm gonna enjoy that night, and I know I'm going to. I'm also gonna enjoy it with like you. I'm gonna enjoy it
Yeah.
with everyone here. I'm gonna enjoy it with the people, and we're all gonna collectively look at it. And this isn't like the 50-day goal, like as much as it is for me selfishly, it also is for everyone here. And it's ultimately we're gonna be able to look back at October 1st, and it'll be a day, and everyone's gonna be everyone's gonna collectively like this. It's just gonna be organic celebration.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go nuts. I'll probably have like 10 shots a night and puke all over the fucking table. Like it might happen, but like I just like I know like when I'll probably, but you know what? Know what happened? I probably will get up the next day on the Saturday and go to the office and go for a run. That's probably what will happen, right?
That's
No, I don't know if I should throw that out there.
It's
a bold statement.
Holy shit!
It's out there. It's a promise.
All right, I'm not. I think this is a smart move. I enjoy that. It's a challenge. It might not be easy. Like what happens? What happens if your dad has you over? You guys will go out for a drink. You're like, Troy, you're not going to order.
No. So like we're doing like it's funny. Like we have drinks. We have like our first like our investors are taking us out for drinks on Friday. Like 4 p.m. patio drinks, and I'm gonna sit there, and I've like already put in my head that I'm just gonna have a water. Like I'm just going to, and then I'm coming back to the office, and like they'll probably look at me and go like, "What the fuck?" But like, "What's wrong with you?" But then I'll say, "Nah." Like, it's like no one has to say anything. It's just I think people know it. It's just ultimately like but I've already come to grips with that. Like I don't even have like any inclination to like want to go out right now. I'm just dialed in, like full nail gun savage mode. Like back to like what I was doing back in like November and December, kind of like when I was like trying to motivate myself, not for me, but ultimately in spite of other people, which I think is like was a part of our, like we talk about this all the time on how when you have to do anything you can to like get the passion and motivate yourself. And I think now it's like, I'm like back towards kind of that mindset, but like I'm passionate about it in a way. So it's almost like that savage nail gun type of mode, but ultimately it's also fueled by like passion, which is kind of unique because I'm way more productive. It's like a weird mix of motivation and spite, but it's like a passion angle mixed to it. So like now it's like a whole nother level of mindset, and like it's exciting. I feel great, man. Like I was super tired today. I think Tim's probably seen me drink like four or five Red Bulls today. Like it's not going to be easy. But I think it's going to be, it's definitely something where like when I go home, like I'm still going to get up and go for a run. I'm going to go do all these things. I'm going to check the boxes because I know it's good for me.
What is your perspective on the grind now, sleep later, sleep when I'm dead? Like when you're sleeping, I'm working. Like what's because that's been a narrative of entrepreneurs since the tale of time.
I think when people say that, I don't actually think they mean that. Like you're gonna stay up and we're gonna grind and we're gonna work. But I think everyone I think the entrepreneurs can resonate with that. And it goes back to like passion, right? Like it's funny, like I'm like at 3 a.m. for some reason I was up a couple of days ago. This is kind of going back to when I was like back in just like November, December of last year, when I was like waking up in the middle of the night and people were like, do you even sleep? And like, what are you? And like, who are you? And like all these different things. Yeah. Or not even that. It was just like, what, like my coworkers were like, dude, like you got to go sleep. Like even now, like people are like, dude, like you got to sleep. And I'm like, I'm not tired though. Like it's not like I'm just up because I organically have to like feel like I need to be up. And then when I'm up, I'm not tired. I'm checking. I'm just working. Like I'm just doing. It's funny, man. Like I use this analogy. Like when I used to go out and like start messaging people and doing prospecting, growing the business and sales. Like I used to like sit there and like, okay, I'm gonna go on LinkedIn. I'm gonna research and prospect. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna write a personalized message that's never gonna be seen, and ultimately, I'm just gonna do it because I have to do it. Right now, it's like I play a video game. I go home. I have my phone. I'm like chilling. I'm watching some Netflix. Like at 9 p.m. at night when I get back. I'm like, then I go, you know what? I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go see. Oh, that guy looks pretty interesting. Scrolling through my newsfeed. I'm gonna send him a bomb. Send him an email. Send him a thing. And it's like. It's so funny. It's just like an organic thing. It's like I'm not even working anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I can totally use that guy. That could totally be a great connection. I'm going to send him a message. It's just like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I love this shit now. Like, it's funny. Like, I love this shit. Did I love it at the beginning though? No, it was
Yeah.
hard work.
Why? What caused that shift? Was it a leadership role? Was it ownership? Was it pay raise?
I think it was a smidgen of success and a win.
Hmm.
I think that's what it was. I think it was like, fuck, we got clients. Fuck, this actually works. Wow. And I think it's really hard. I mean, it's like when like a sports team tastes a little bit of victory and then they get addicted to it and they want to keep coming back, right? It's like, it's so hard. People work so hard just to get over the hump almost, right? And there's multiple humps and there's multiple hills and everything like that. But it's like people will keep climbing up the hill. It's almost like a hill that you're climbing with no sight in front of you. It's like fog. And then when you hit like the top, when you finally hit the top of the hill and you taste that like little bit of victory, then you're like, okay, I want to go climb the next hill now because that was awesome. Like, and you're like, I did that. It's like almost a sense like, but it's hard work. It's hard work when you have no victory. It's hard work when you have no success and victory in sight. And that's what startups are. That's why 99.9% of startups fail, because people ultimately never get to that little hump of the hill, even though that little hump feels like it feels like millions of marathons piled on top on an incline to get it. That's why so many people turn back and go down the hill, right? And it's like, you got to just, be stubborn and you got to work, and it's hard work. It's not fun. It's a grind. And then ultimately you get that taste of victory and this smidgen of success, and you go to another hill and you go to a bigger hill and you're like, you know what? I've done it before. I've climbed the smaller one. I can climb the medium one. I can climb the large one. I can climb Goliath. I can climb Mount Everest, right? And then you keep going.
And that's the whole incremental goals. And you set the small goals, and the goals start getting bigger, and you're like, oh, this goal was too small for me.
Yeah, like when we first met in like December of last year, like doing a 50-day challenge, I probably want to like turn around and like kill myself. Like, to be honest, like I would have been like, it'd be like day like 3. I'd be like, oh, it sucks. And then now it's just like, it's easy, right?
So I wrote this. I'm just looking at my LinkedIn 7 months ago. I don't know when this was, but I felt like this was when I was like pure lockdown in Toronto by myself. I was starting to go insane, but I was in a good groove, like I had a routine. I crafted a schedule for me because I felt so out of whack, and I didn't know what I was doing, what I wanted to do. But I was like, in our Undressed to Jersey episode, we talked about scheduling and the power of scheduling, and how we go through our entire lives of school and sports, especially if you have to be here at this time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You keep looking at the clock until when practice is going to be over, and right? So then when you finish that, it's now, why don't people continue that same structure? Why don't you create your own schedule and do everything? So I sat down and I said, all right, 7:30 wake up, 8. I felt like I was in training camp again, whatever. But so in that worked for me to a certain extent. But then I went on LinkedIn. I had this question I wanted to ask people. I said, what are some other ways? And this is me asking Troy. What are some of the ways you determine whether or not you're doing enough? For example, currently I feel like things are heading in a positive direction. I'm making progress with my relationships, networking, executing on some business ideas. But at the same time, for some reason, the thought of I could be doing more still manages to creep into my mind. What are ways you've dealt with this thought? How do you determine if you're doing enough or could be doing more?
You never do. You never do, man. I saw a video about this literally this morning, and it was a sports coach saying, successful people always think that they can do more. Successful people always think that they can do more. They can improve. They can get better. And it's kind of like what we talk about every day, man. I think, listen, like, I think it's very gratifying. Like you're in a spot right now where you're just starting your own business, and you're like in that like hill mode.
Intimidating.
It's intimidating, but it's also like a lot of work, and it is a lot of discipline. It is a lot of like day to day. It is setting a schedule. It is, and you got to like force yourself to set that.
Yeah.
Like now, like I don't have like a set schedule. because now I know I'm the guy that's in the office at 6 a.m. every day and whatever, just doing, right? Because I climbed that small hill and had that smidge of success. And now I know I have the confidence and the ability to climb that bigger hill, right? Because I've done the small one. I'm gonna go test myself, right? And ultimately, but like, so my mindset is, listen, I think if you're never trying to improve, you're never done enough. If you think you've done enough, then ultimately you'll stay where you are. You have to be moving forward and have the mindset that you can get a little bit better. You're never doing enough. But ultimately, what you will feel though, Tristan, is, and this is what I told Tim, I've told people around the office here. I said, leave the office, like feeling that you can put your feet up basically at night. There's a difference. Like people have anxiety, like organic anxiety, when like we haven't done enough. I like leave the office and I'm always like mindset. I'm always like thinking I can do more, but I also know when I go home and I know when I put my feet up, I go, yeah, Troy, you were a fucking nail gun today and you did a great job. Like you are that. I look in the mirror like yesterday is a perfect example. Like I had 4 or 5 new client calls, 3 of them went to contract, another 2 went, and I was just in the zone. And then I went home and like I looked at myself in the mirror and I go, you're that fucking guy. Like you are that fucking guy. That's what I told myself. And like if anyone was a fly on the wall, they like I literally said that loud, like screamed it in the mirror. I'm like, you're that fucking guy. And then I went on a run. And then people would say, like, people probably look at me like if they were in that room and go, this kid's a fucking psycho. But I go, like, that's like organically how I felt. And I felt so good about myself, man. And I was tired. And I was like, fuck it though. I'm going to run at 10 p.m. to just feel so great. And then I had a 7:30 demo today. Like today I had a 7:30 demo to get another client. It went great. Like I was up the next day and then now I'm winning. I got to win today. I got to motivate. I got to grow. And I will go home tonight and I'm not going to leave until like it's that time. I feel good about myself when I leave and I'll get there. Still not there today. We still got a couple of things we got to do.
Here's a quote that I think you'll like. And it's one that my AAU basketball coach, he had like a summer camp and he would put up these quotes all around the gym and stuff just so we see them, and he would never like single them out. There's actually another one. He said, if we were, this isn't the one, but if we were ever in like a lot of pain and like doing a drill that's just like conditioning or whatever, he would yell out, what is pain? He'd be like, what is pain? And the whole team would be like, French bread. Anyway, that's pretty cheesy. It's corny.
Strong side, left side.
But the one quote that was at the exit of the gym, the entrance of the gym was, the only easy day was yesterday, right? Because regardless of what you've done the day before, it's in the past. You may have made some progress. This is my first time trying to dissect this quote and what I think it actually means. But it's like the only easy day was yesterday, meaning that you could have signed 3 new clients. You could have, hit your mark. You could have closed the seed round. You could have made tremendous progress. But then you wake up the next day and now what? You have an empty day. Like it's the only easy day was yesterday.
The famous quote in sports, right? What have you done for me lately? Right? That's the famous quote. Like, what have you done for me lately? Like, hey, you could have had a Hall of Fame career, but you went 0 for 4 yesterday. Right. You with 4 strikeouts. Like late, and like it's like recency bias, right? Like it's like, what have you done for me? Like because there's no time like the present, right? And so like you have to, like today, you're 100% right. Like I got up and I had a huge day yesterday. I had a great day. But today, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to hang my head on yesterday and just go through the motions today. It was, I'm at nothing. I got to win today. I have to win the day. You got to win your day, man. Everyone has to win their day. And I'm not leaving here until I win. Like I'm super competitive that way. Like I with myself, I've got to win.
In the inside of my school ring here, I have my basketball number, which is number 5. That is a little deeper. That's my mom's birthday.
Nice.
And then the quote I have, Carpe Diem, which is
seize the day.
Seize the day. My grandfather would always end every message or email or like good luck today in your game tonight, carpe diem, whatever. So seize the day. I relate to that a lot. And
Yeah.
it's literally the only easy day was yesterday. Whatever you did, I like that recency bias, because it's like, I guess that kind of relates to the question of like, how do you know if you're doing enough? How do you know if you've done enough? Well, it's a new day. What are you going to do today?
You know you've done enough when you leave, and you can put your feet up.
Yeah.
You don't have anxiety. You don't have anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I think, but it's tough to like. I think I was like the most anxious person in the world, even though I was probably working, and even though I was working my ass off when I was starting, right? And then that's the toughest part for a lot of when you're like you like right now. I think the tough part, and like when we were starting, was we never tasted success, so we didn't taste that like victory, right? And so you never know that you're doing enough, because you never know what it takes to actually get a victory or get a result. And so you're kind of actually like you are doing enough. You are doing enough, and you're working. But you're in such an anxious state because you haven't tasted that victory yet. But then when you get when you get a victory, then you're like, okay, then you kind of know then you start to formulate what it takes to actually be able to go home and put your feet up. Right. I put my feet up. I'm still on my phone to messaging people and working, but I can put my feet up. I'm not anxious about it.
And when you hit that victory, then you recognize everything you've done to get there.
Yeah, but 100%. But 99.9% of startups or people never get there. They never get there, because there's like a famous there's like a famous like meme, and it's a person that's like mining. It's like two people mining, and it's like there's like a big thing of gold.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
and the person like that was further ahead,
left,
like turned back, and the other person's going. He's like this far ahead. It's so true.
Right.
It is so true. But again, you got to be like, you got to be stubborn. You got to be stubborn. You got to believe. You got to believe that you're going to get there. Believe that you have a value problem. Believe all these things, and iterate 1,000 times and tweak things, and ultimately and then eventually you'll get a nugget. You'll get like a small little nugget. Yeah. That's like the word, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to keep going, because it's like there's like the mother lode down the mine, and ultimately you'll keep paving. It's such a great like image, and I love it.
Troy, that's 45 minutes. I don't know, like, is this the fastest stay hot we've ever done?
Man, I think this might have been our best episode.
I don't understand where the time went. I'm excited to follow your journey on those 50 days.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep October 1st open.
I'm going to send you a calendar invite right now. We have one up.
All right, baby. See you next week.
That was 1-4. Bye, buddy.
Take care.